Hey guys, MarvelFan45 here, and I just decided to sort of randomly record this video, or two videos maybe. I was taking a bike ride and I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking this, Punch Drunk Love is a perfect film, and yes, I completely agree with that. So I'm just going to review it, because, I mean, if you haven't seen Punch Drunk Love, it's sort of like, it's Paul Thomas Anderson's, it's my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. It's not his best movie, that's There Will Be Blood, no question. But Punch Drunk Love is just hilarious. Like, it's the best rom-com, easily, just followed by Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is also good, but nowhere near the level of this movie. But, like, if you don't know who Paul Thomas Anderson is, he directed There Will Be Blood, Inherent Vice, The Master, feel like I'm missing some, Hard 8, Boogie Nights. The guy's got a stacked filmography. And this movie stars Adam Sandler, Emily Watson, and Philip Seymour Hoffman in, like, his funniest role just ever. Besides maybe Grant and The Big Lebowski. I rewatched that last night, The Big Lebowski. I was just in a sad mood. I almost watched Punch Drunk Love, but then I was like, nah, let's watch The Big Lebowski for a change, because, to give you an idea, I watched Punch Drunk Love, I think it was like 4 times in 1 week, because I ended up getting super sad, and I just rewatched that film so many times, because it's just so, like, joyful, I guess? I wouldn't say that's the best way to describe it. It's got Adam Sandler's best performance besides Uncut Gems. And it's an art house movie too, which is, like, interesting, because the combination of, I think someone else said this, the combination of Adam Sandler and Paul Thomas Anderson is one of the most bizarre combinations ever, because Paul Thomas Anderson is this artsy director, Adam Sandler is this more comedic type guy. But, like, the first minute of this, when it started, when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, I probably won't like this, but then, like, it grabbed me, like, near the end. So the first time I saw it, I was like, that's a good film, not as good as There Will Be Blood though. But then I was like, okay, why not rewatch it, like, a couple weeks later? So I rewatched it, and, like, it just completely changed. Because, like, the first time I saw Punch Drunk Love, I was more of a mainstream movie type guy. But since, like, those couple of weeks later, it was last year, I started getting into more art house stuff and more subtler comedies. And, like, there's just so much to appreciate with this movie. So, like, the difference is, after seeing all these art house movies, like Only God Forgives, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, I rewatched this one, in my opinion, just completely changed. Like, from the opening shot, I was hooked in. Like, the opening shot is beautiful, and it's amazing because it's, like, it's so mundane, but he makes it look so beautiful. And then all this random stuff happening, like the Mellotron that gets dropped off in the street, the call he has with the girl in his apartment is just one of the funniest scenes. There's so many great scenes in this movie, but should probably get into the plot. But basically Adam Sandler is this guy. Emily Watson comes to drop her car off at his business area, and then they sort of fall in love from there. I don't really want to say anything else because you should go into this movie completely blind. But like, there's just so much to talk about with this movie. Like this shot actually reminded me of The Big Lebowski a lot, since it is the most recent film I watched. It's the most recent thing I'd probably compare it to. But the scene where he's in the grocery store and you just see all those items and then him, except for it's not like The Big Lebowski, but the joke is used in a more subtle way in this one. But like, he walks in this blue suit for no reason. And then the ending call with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then one of my favorite quotes in any movie, "That's that mattress man." It takes context, but I would love to hear a commentary track of this film, because like, I want to know how they got some of the shots. Like, there's this one shot that's like, it's not one shot, it's multiple shots, but like, Adam Sandler is he's in his office, then out of nowhere Emily Watson's character comes in with one of his sisters, and then they sort of just come into his office, and then a whole bunch of random stuff is happening, a melody is playing in the background, just tons of stuff is happening at once. It's hilarious, but like, I want to know how they got that shot, because like, and then another thing, their use of color, where like, in the one Terrence Malick movie I've seen, Song to Song, they do this thing a lot where there's the camera, and then they'll like put a huge burst of light onto it, and then, not burst of light, like just the sun will sort of reflect. But this one they do it differently. And then like, the genius of this movie with the cinematography and the colors and the direction and all of it. So like, the scene in every rom-com where the guy goes to get the girl, in this movie, if you like, you don't even have to pay attention, you just have to like, have paid attention before to notice this. But like, he's running to go get the girl, then a red truck goes by at that exact same moment, and pretty much him and the truck run together out the side of the building. And then, if you think about it, it's like, well, Emily Watson's character pretty much always wears red, and it's pretty obvious symbolism, but like, it's a pretty genius shot. And then there's a lot to talk about here. I really don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen this, but like, this is my favorite special edition in my movie collection. The pudding joke is hilarious, because the joke in the opening scene is so subtle, but like, or the scene where he's trying to sell plungers to the guy, and then all of his sisters call him, like, but yeah, cinematography and direction, top notch, acting, especially Philip Seymour Hoffman, top notch, the acting by Adam Sandler is top notch, cause like, he'll be quiet for a minute, and then like, just, there's a reason it's called Punch Drunk Love, basically. Like, there's a reason it's called Punch Drunk Love. But like, yeah, this is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen, one of the funniest films I've ever seen. And yeah, it's just a great art house film too. If you haven't seen this, go check it out. It's like 11 out of 10 for me. Definitely in my favorite films of all time. And yeah, stay safe, stay quarantined.